Over 600 years ago, in 1379, Datu Gara, one of the 10 Datus led by Datu Puti, fled Borneo to escape from a tyrant Sultan. With his clan of 77 household members, he separated from the other Datus that settled in Panay. After sailing through the oceans, they landed and established a settlement on the shores of what is now called Binongto-an.
About Carigara, ang katikangan na kadiskubre.
Katikangan po Carigara.
May ito, Gara, then bago na Kalgara, Datu Gara, then Kalgara, then Carigara.
Okay po.
Akon la pagkabaro, it start tungo dito nga Datu Gara. Amo ito naging Carigara. Wala iya.
Kan Kalgara to.
Okay.
Ini ka nga ng Carigara. Mga tundik maarmi to kay dito matawa kuan. Biliran.
The town is situated in the northern shores of the island of Leyte, almost at the center of the semicircle which faces the bay named after it. Surrounded by wide rice fields fanning out towards the mountains in the distance. It was first called Kan Gara, meaning that of Gara or simply Garas. Later, for phonetic convenience, Kan Gara became Kalgara, and when the Spaniards came, they called the place Carigara, hence its present name. The town, some historians say, was once called Tandaya. Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, in his letter to the Royal Audiencia of Mexico, narrating his arrival in and conquest of the Philippines, mentions a place called Tandaya, which may have referred to Carigara. An unsigned manuscript recounting Legazpi's conquest lumped Tandaya with other towns of Leyte. He wrote that Baybay, Bayugo, Abuyo, Cavallan, Tandaya are divided among the citizens of Cebu. That is, the towns had been assigned as encomiendas to the Spaniards of Cebu, obviously the men of Legazpi. The historian Jaime de Vayra, in his book Tandaya or Candaya, avers that Carigara is the Tandaya or Candaya mentioned in Luarca's accounts of the encomiendas. Did Tandaya really refer to Carigara? Kalgaranons would rather leave this matter to the historians to decide. They have their own version of the origin of their town and its name. In their account of beginnings, their town got its name from the original settler, the founder of the town, a certain Datu Gara, who landed on the shores of what is now Carigara Bay, with his clan of 77 members sometime in 1379. Gazing at the pristine vegetation before him and trying to decide where to put up his household, Gara saw a break in the dense growth of the forest and plants caused by a river emptying into the bay. He and his party entered the mouth of the river and followed it upstream for about a kilometer until they reached the glade. They then disembarked, cleared the glade for more space, and established a village. The new settlers didn't bother to give their new village a name. Months later, when traders from Bohol chanced upon the village, they found an organized settlement under the chieftain named Gara. Thereupon, they referred to the place as Kan Gara. The name stuck, evolved to Kalgara, and finally, Carigara.
As parish church. Kung nakanamdam ka po.
Nanunundom ako, hadto, namamahala ito, madre. Ang madre nga under ang benedictive sister, And then 1972, 71 or 72 na sunog. Yung sunog ang mga sinisiri nga kabataan makabayan. Na ito yan na naging mga rebelde, naging MPA. Durungan ito. Nasunog ito, ginawakan di Father Bactol. Nga isa Father Bactol, ito naging director. Pag-director ni Father Bactol is Madre Sister of Mercy ba ito? Kung ano. And then, yan na, hasta na ito yan na naging Holy Cross. Dati na ito Holy Cross. Then, naging Holy Cross, ano ito, College of Carigara. Pero dati, Holy Cross Academy. Then, bago maging college.
I think itiya history nagtikang ito syempre ha mga kapadian kay hiramang ko dito nag-found ito nga Holy Cross ito nga Holy Cross ito na build ito iya.
The Holy Cross is after it only came into existence when the Jesuits came.
Yes.
In 1595, because in 1595, which is a Sunday, Jesuits, being Spaniards, would have to celebrate Mass according to the rules of the Catholic Church, according to what they call they have to abide by that rule that July 16 is assigned to the triumph of the Holy Cross. The triumph of the Holy Cross, which they consider Spanish considered it a high fiesta because that was the time in 1212 when the Spanish kings won the battle against the Muslims, against Miramoulin, who was the head of the Muslim, the Mohammedan counterpart.
Carigara, like other towns, was also subjected to Moro raids. Its inhabitants during the Spanish occupation were indoctrinated by the Catholic religion by many religious groups. The first among them were the Augustinian friars, followed by the Jesuit missionaries who came on July 16, 1595, in the persons of Father Pedro Chirino, Fathers Juan del Campo, Cosme Flores, and brothers Gaspar Garay and Martin, a servant. Chirino's group sailed for Leyte in the middle of June 1595, passing by Panay to close the mission there. They arrived on the shores of Carigara on Sunday, July 16, 1595. On the beach, they offered a mass honoring the triumph of the Holy Cross. After the mass, they erected a cross to mark the place and date of their historic landing. They then walked to the town proper where they were welcomed by the encomiendero Cristobal de Trujillo and by the residents of the encomienda. There was festivity and rejoicing. This was the first celebration of the feast of the triumph of the Holy Cross in Carigara and in Leyte. From that day on, Carigara has celebrated its town fiesta on July 16, as much as to honor the triumph of the Holy Cross as to commemorate the historic arrival of the Jesuits. Changes were introduced in the fields of education, health, sanitation, commerce, and trade when the Americans arrived in Carigara. The United States government sent laymen and women to the town. Among those that Carigaranons can never forget are Mr. Cassidy, Miss Rivancier, and Miss Gladwin, the former being the builder of the Cassidy Building, which still proudly stands in Carigara today. It was said that Carigara was the first capital of Leyte, but as to the precise period of time, history records conflicting data. One historian says that it was during the first 30 years of the 17th century, but others maintain that before the year 1747, the provinces of Samar and Leyte were under one alcalde mayor residing at Catbalogan, Samar. The departure of the Jesuits was a watershed for Carigara. For some inexplicable reason, the town gradually lost importance when the Jesuits were expelled. It was a commercially active town, but its political stature diminished. The seat of government was transferred to Palo, then to Tanawan, later to Dagami, and finally to Tacloban on October 15, 1774. 50 years later, on May 31, 1824, the capital was moved back to Carigara. But 3 years later, on February 26, 1830, the capital was again transferred to Tacloban, which has been the capital of the province since then. Nevertheless, Carigara holds the distinction of being the inaugural town founded in the expansive eastern Visayas region. It remains historical, and the townspeople remain appreciative of their origin and identity, continuously preserving their stories and experiences by passing what the old generation have been handing down over the years. May it be skills, delicacies, culture, religion, artifacts, legends, and the wonders of the lands itself. The relevance of these things come to how we preserve the stories of the past and how we use these lessons to bring forth change in bettering the quality of life.
Carigara, ikaw na minayuyo, ikaw hindi higugma. Carigara nga baraan, ikaw na mungging puyan. Kaupod mo kami hadalanhan, kauswagan. Kungto na himutang norte han probinsya, unan hini ang dagat luyo ang Cordillera. An iya kadagatan, hurahin kaisdaan, puwerte ka malangbuan kagurangan, ngan umanan. Magkaurusan na kita yan na magandam na, andaran ng pagkursa, aton nagiyan pa, aton kabubuwason, tatalingwahan ta, karana pamatian ta, ang boses ni Gara, ang tigughan Carigara. Kan Gara inigin ngaran pag sa urugan katadaan, ginsentrohan komersyo, ikaw naging bantugan. Carigara amon bungto, ikaw ang naging syahan, ang probinsyahan Leyte ang Krisyanismo, hindi ka nga. Magkaurusan na kita yan na magandam na, andalan ng pag-usa, aton nagiyan pa, aton kabubuwason, tatalingwahan ta, karana pangatian ta, ang boses ni Gara, ang tingoghan Carigara. Amon patron imo gabayan kami nga tanan, kami panalipdan na panulingan kataragman. Magkaurusan na kita yan na magandam na, andalan ng pag-usa, aton nagiyan pa, aton kabubuwason, tatalingwahan ta, karana pangatian ta, ang boses ni Gara, ang tigughan Carigara. Magkaurusan na kita yan na magandam Carigara